Hi everyone, it's Monday, it's 4 o'clock, and that means it's time for the Hostess Next Door. I'm your hostess, Chef Vanessa Cantave. We've got Sarah in the studio.
Hey everyone, happy Monday.
Hi Sarah, how was your weekend?
So good.
So good. All right, so we'll get to that. Today's episode is all about hosting your own book club. So I actually started my own book club January. We've read 3 books, so I have a little bit of experience with this. And, you know, I'm excited to show you guys a few recipes, give you a few tips, and then we've got some fun DIY stuff at the end. So stick around, make sure you stay till the end. We do have some fun things to show you. All right, so the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna get started with one of my favorite recipes. So when you're hosting a book club, you kind of wanna keep it simple. You know, there's gonna be people having their book out, there is a discussion that happens, so you don't wanna eat anything that's like too complicated or greasy or just like hard to eat. So you wanna kind of keep it simple, and also it tends to be like, you know, just light, easy fare. You know, you don't want it to be like the next time when it's someone else's turn to host that they're like overwhelmed because the last person decided to make like a huge gourmet meal. So today we're gonna do 3 recipes, and the first up, we haven't used bacon in a little while, so let's make a BLT salad.
Yum.
Sarah, I know you're excited, right? Because I think last week we didn't really like cook enough. With too many like tips. All right, so the first thing we're gonna do for this salad is I'm gonna show you guys a quick way to actually roast garlic. So most people know how to roast garlic by, you know, cutting the head off and pouring some garlic and then putting it in a little foil pouch and baking it in the oven. But this is a way that we do it in the catering company, and I find it to be like really, really easy. So we're just gonna take some garlic, and we're gonna put it in a small little pan. I need to get like way more oil out of here. All right. And the really cool thing about this is we're gonna kind of do this roasted garlic on top of the stove, and what we'll end up with is some really nice garlic cloves that are gonna go into our dressing, and then the oil that we have left over we're gonna use to toss our croutons in. So it looks like a lot of oil, but it is not a lot of oil. All right. So we're gonna kind of like let that sort of get started. And so like throughout, I wanna give you guys a few tips too, just about having a book club. So I think the first thing that you need to think about when you're having a book club is you gotta pick a book, right? So when I started my book club, I really didn't know like how to pick a book or what books people were gonna really like. So I kind of just like defaulted to like Oprah's book club. So I think
default.
Well, yeah. I mean, I figured like I don't really know what everyone's gonna be into. I think once you get a couple books under your belt and you have this kind of camaraderie with this group of people, then you guys will start to sort of like make suggestions for like what's the next book gonna be, and sort of like that. But in the beginning I was just like, I don't really know what book, so that was how I picked mine. And definitely I'm looking for you guys out there to tell me, like, do you have book clubs? Do you host a book club? What kind of books are you reading? And what kind of food do you like to serve at your book club? So let us know. All right, so while this garlic is happening, we'll just get started. This is a really easy salad to prepare. I've got some nice bib lettuce here. I really like this. It's kind of, it's definitely a little bit more tender. I just love it. It's nice and delicate, I would say. So we have so many things here today. Hold on. Let's see.
I want to say my favorite book that actually I've read recently that would be great for a women's book club is Big Little Lies, which they turned into a show.
yeah. That turned out to be a really successful show.
Yeah, so you can do the book, and then you can even talk about, if you liked the show's portrayal of it.
I feel like when I was younger, I hated reading a book if I knew it was going to be like turned into a movie. I felt like it was a waste of time to read the book because I'm like, oh, it's just going to be a movie soon. But now I actually enjoy that. So I'm going to turn this down. What you want to do with this garlic, though, you want to make sure that you're not like frying it. So the technique is actually called like basting it. If you went like this, we just want it to become like nice and golden. So we don't want to be like frying it. We don't want it to cook too fast, and we don't want it to burn. So I'm just going to turn the heat down a little bit there, and then back to my tearing of the lettuce. All right. So we're going to use bib lettuce here. You could use like red leaf or green leaf. I just like this recipe to be like a nice tender lettuce. Here, you know, we just kind of wash this in advance. And you know what's funny is like we usually use all of the lettuces that are in like the pre-packaged, but you know, this week we actually bought a head of lettuce and washed it and rinsed it off. So this will be great.
I have to say, I do love bib lettuce.
I love it.
Yeah.
It's just really nice. The thing is it doesn't hold up as long because it is a tender lettuce. So you want to make sure when you're working with tender lettuces that that you dress them at the very last minute, or you let your guests dress their own salad. Because what happens is the acidity from the salad dressing makes it so they kind of can wilt really fast. Unlike a romaine or something like that, which you can put the dressing on, it takes forever for it to, you know, kind of whatever. Okay, so here, I think that looks nice.
I'm going to shout out some favorite books.
Okay.
First of all, I have to say that Rebecca Lynn Sanders is really taking me back. She said the chicken soup books. Do you remember like the chicken soup
for the soul and like those kind of books?
Such good stories. It kind of is fitting for LittleThings too. I feel like we carry similar messages.
Yeah.
Nelma Oliveira says The Shack, which I've never
heard that
so
one.
I'm gonna have to check that out because I'm an avid reader, I must say. I love to read.
So wait, Sarah, have you heard this? So in New York, I just saw this in the subway. In New York, they have like a collective New York City book club where like they just started it where they announce a book, and basically you can do individual book clubs, but the idea is that like everyone in New York City is reading the same book at the same time.
So I do know about that, and I think it's very cute. I'm not personally partaking in it because I just go on my own little book journey of what a lot of times will be recommended to me by someone who knows my genre, which is like crime thrillers. But I think it's a great idea because you can like just look on the subway and see someone else reading the same book you're reading. It's very
I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I think that's really cool. It's such an easy like kind of like citywide initiative. All right, so we're just adding some tomatoes. Again, this is a BLT, so we're gonna have all of the components we would. So I'm putting, these are great. These are little grape tomatoes. We have yellow ones and we have red ones. They're so pretty.
I have a question from Ed Bassett. Yeah. He said, you're ripping the lettuce. Is it easier than chopping?
What happens is when you tear it, it tends to not wilt and die. So the edges, when they're torn versus when they're cut with a sharp knife, then they just stay really nice and they don't get brown as quickly. So that's it. That's the only reason why. You can do it any which way you want.
Also, Dorothy Ashmore Lunn, you said you host a book club every 5 months. That's amazing. So tell us some tips, you know, from your side. What do you like to...
She hosts a book every 5 months?
She says she hosts one every 5 months.
Oh, wow. That's pretty cool.
I want to hear from you what are you guys currently reading? And do you have any favorite
Let us
club
know.
snacks?
All right. So here what we're going to do is I'm going to add, so we're going to make like a really quick little buttermilk dressing. Okay, so here we've got some buttermilk. Okay, that's easy. We also have mayo. Mayo's so good. This is going to be just such a really easy, really rich kind of dressing. We also have apple cider vinegar. So I'm going to put a little bit of that in there. And then we're going to put fresh salt and pepper. Boom. It's a very simple salad. Oh wait, my checklist, sorry. Okay, so the second thing we have to remember is to invite people. So you gotta think about like who you're inviting, right? And not just who you're inviting, but like how many people are you inviting? So you don't want the book club to be way too many people. If you have too many people at the book club, then it's kind of like hard to do a real good conversation because everybody's like talking over each other. But you also wanna make sure you have enough like people in the room to really like facilitate a discussion. So, you know, and what I've just realized now that we are on our third book is that like not everybody's always going to be able to make it to every single one. So you got to have like enough people so if a couple folks don't show up. I wonder if any of my friends from my book club have like are watching today. All right, so here we're going to add some bacon. This is for you, Sarah. We did some bacon earlier. That's the B part, the B part of our BLT. And then the really cool thing I'm gonna do, I'll show you guys, I'm gonna put the dressing to the side. The dressing is all ready to go. And so here we have this really nice garlic from the garlic that we just roasted on top of the stove. I'm gonna put this croutons in here. We just did a baguette, and then I'm gonna take the oil and I'm gonna toss that in there. So the croutons will be like infused with like a nice roasted garlic. Smells so good in here.
It does smell amazing in here.
Yeah.
I have to say, I didn't tell you this, but or maybe we did talk about this, but I don't love tomatoes.
You don't love tomatoes?
Yeah, but you told me.
I told you I'm gonna,
because you said good tomatoes.
Yeah, you'll like these, especially the little yellow ones. They're super yummy.
I'm gonna give it a shot. I'm gonna give it another shot.
No, you're gonna like these. All right, and then I'm gonna put a couple more little tomatoes on top, so we get some nice color. And so that's really going to be our salad. Like I said, I don't want to dress the salad until like the guest comes, so that the dressing doesn't wilt the lettuce green. So I'm just going to actually pour my dressing into this little cute thing. But you see, that one was like a really easy recipe, and almost you didn't even have to turn on the oven. So we've got this, and we can take these garlic cloves and just sort of use them as a little garnish on the top. All right, cool. First recipe, easy peasy. There we go. All right, so the third thing on my list is who's gonna host the party. So I felt like since I was starting the book club that I sort of had to host the first one. I somehow got into hosting the second one too. But so, you just kind of have to rotate so that it's not like everybody feels like they're hosting every single week. But you just want to take turns, and you also want to give people enough time to read the book. So I know, Sarah, you read really, really fast, but I do not read really, really fast. So I always feel like I don't know, like if you do it like every 4 to 5 weeks, that feels like a good amount of time. I don't know, ask everybody, like how long should we give each other to read a book? Like what do you think?
That's a great question.
Because you read really fast.
I just need a couple days.
Yeah, you're like, yeah. And there's girls in my book club that won't start the book until like right before the book club, and I'm like, I gotta get started.
Time.
Yeah, because I don't know. I don't know.
What do you think is a fair amount of time? A month, maybe?
I think like a month or 5 weeks, but I mean,
I think
you guys let us know how long you think is a good amount of time to be able to read like a book. Like let's say about 350 pages. Like tell us how long should each person be able to read 350 pages. We're busy people. All right, second recipe. This is probably one of my favorites. We're making puff pastry with smoked salmon, whipped cream cheese. These are amazing little tartlets. I love them. So I just want to show you, the first thing you're going to do is you can find these puff pastry sheets in the freezer section, and you'll bring them out of the refrigerator. All we did here was we just kind of cut them into equal. I'm eyeballing it. They're not perfectly equal, but we made 12. So we're gonna have like little individual pastries. And the cool thing here is you can bake them in the oven just plain like this. So then afterwards you would set them on your baking sheet just like one at a time. The thing with puff pastry is you don't have to worry about them being too close to each other because they're going to rise this way and not this way. So you're good. So we're just going to bake these. And you want to bake them about 400 degrees for about 20 minutes until they're like nice and golden. They're going to puff up. It's going to be really cute, really nice. I love puff pastry. I went to a French cooking school, so we use puff pastry in just about everything. Lots of desserts, lots of different ways to work with it. Okay.
So we're hearing from our viewers.
Yeah, how long to read the book?
So most people are saying a month, actually. So we're
okay, so
right
that's
on
good.
Target. Yes, Crystal White said a month should be plenty of time depending on what's going on in your life. We do have another fast reader though. Juana Huizinga, I don't know how to say this. Huizinga says 1 or 2 weeks. I'm sorry if I butchered your name.
1 or 2 weeks? One or two weeks?
That's more like me. I'm definitely there. But we need to be fair for everyone else. So I'm going to say a month sounds about right.
Yeah, because 1 or 2 weeks is not enough time. Okay, all right. That's good to know, though. All right, so we made these for you guys earlier. I just want to show you. So this is what happens when the puff pastry puffs up. And we have a lot of things on this set. Sorry, guys. Okay, so once the puff pastry puffs up, it's really cute. And then what we can do here is we're just going to cut them in half. So when it puffs up, it has so many amazing different layers. So it's really easy to sort of break apart, and you can use both sides. And that's what's really cool. So here, we're going to set these up. And I'll show you. I'll do 4 of them for you guys. These are so my favorite.
Yeah, these are what I'm going to try first.
Yeah, these are going to be so yummy. I mean, it's just basically like buttery, flaky dough with all of my favorite things inside. All right, so we're going to take some cream cheese. So here we have some whipped cream cheese. You can actually buy it now already whipped, so that makes life so much easier. And we're going to take some whipped cream cheese and we're going to spread it right here in the middle. And I guess, you know, this one really works well. I mean, any time of day, but especially if you were hosting like something that was more of like a lunch or like in the middle of the day, this would be really nice. All right, so we're going to put some cream cheese just sort of in the middle. All right. I have one more tip for you guys. It's good to have some questions like all ready to go when you're doing a book club.
You can usually find them online.
You can find like discussion questions. They're all ready to go because, you know, there's certain people who it's just going to be easy for them to jump right in. They can't wait. They've been like dying to get together. They so want to talk about the book. But sometimes there's books, you know, or just people, it's harder to get the conversation going. You just want to have a backup. So just make sure you have like some discussion questions ready. Just in case the conversation just kind of has a hard time flowing. And also, I would say, in my personal opinion, again, I will default, I've only had 3 book clubs, so I will default to our viewers to let us know. I like to talk about the book for like 60 to 90 minutes. I don't need to talk about the book like too much more than like an hour.
That sounds about right.
I want to get to the like hanging out,
what's going on
and
in
like
your
what's
life.
happening, and like the get together part of it. So I mean, you guys let me know. But I usually like to talk about the book for about 60 to 90 minutes, and then you know, and of course the number 1 tip, which is like a no-brainer and kind of the joke with book clubs, is make sure that you have wine, lots of wine. Lots of wine. I mean, the ongoing joke is that book clubs are really just a bunch of folks getting together to drink wine, and
a vehicle for wine.
The book is like secondary, but listen, it's definitely true. There is a lot of wine that happens at the book club. All right, guys, I'm putting some really nice smoked salmon on these tartlets. Do you like smoked salmon, Sarah?
I love smoked salmon. Although I have to say, I ordered a bagel fairly recently with smoked salmon, and the person who was putting together my sandwich for me put so much smoked salmon on there.
So much? You didn't like it?
I don't like
too much.
Too many layers of it. I like yeah.
So
what you're doing right now
one
looks good to me.
One layer is good enough.
Yeah, it's a little dense and salty.
Well, you know, and I feel like
it.
in New York, New Yorkers love to do like a whole lot of toppings on a bagel anyway. Like that's definitely a thing. All right, so then we're gonna garnish. So here we have the cream cheese, we have the salmon. We're gonna put a little bit of capers. Let me move this bacon out of the way. I'm gonna put some capers. If you don't like capers, you don't have to put them on here. I know not everybody likes them. They're like little baby olives. They're briny and delicious. I mean, I like them, but I know not everybody likes them.
We're having a wine discussion, by the way. Everyone is, first of all, Crystal White goes, yes, wine. And Jean Brown said red wine or white wine. And then Crystal White said red with that meal. Nelma Oliveira said red. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's wine. Definitely there's wine. Yeah.
Definitely wine involved.
So now we've done a little drizzle of olive oil. I'm putting some fresh black pepper on there. Like, this is what I mean. Like, this is going to be really lovely for the book club, but it doesn't have to be like too difficult. You know, this is a recipe that requires very little kitchen time, because you could make those puff pastry things earlier. You can make them the night before. You can make them, you know, in the morning. And then really it's just about like sort of assembling this. And also, like, definitely if you're the one hosting, you should ask one of your friends to stop by maybe, who's in the book club, maybe come a little bit early and help you get set up. So, all right, here we go. So now here's this. This is finished. We have our nice little puff pastry tarts with smoked salmon and olive oil, cream cheese, capers, and fresh dill. Pretty yummy. That one was really easy, right?
Yes. We had a question about what kind of would red wine go with the salmon dish? Jean Brown.
Yeah, well, I mean, okay, so at a book club, I feel like we just kind of have like all wines available for everybody so that folks can have whatever they want. Definitely white wine or sparkling would go well with this dish.
Or rosé.
Or rosé for sure.
Rosé, and I'm all for the rosé.
Yeah, or rosé for sure, but I just feel like when I'm hosting a book club, I definitely just have like, you know, different red and white, you know, it's just so that everybody there just gets to have like whichever kind they want. Okay, so the last thing we're gonna make as far as the recipes today is this really easy lemon mousse. It's so yummy, super, super easy. You guys are gonna really like this one.
Isabel Castro said that she would make the smoked salmon tartlets a little bit smaller maybe so that people can eat them bite-sized.
So like it's like a bite size? Yeah, that's cute. Like you can just, that sheet, you can cut it really like to whatever size you want. Yeah. So yeah, that's a great idea. I think that's a great idea. Okay, so this is such an easy recipe. We're gonna start first with, this is 2 cups of heavy whipping cream. So we'll just whip that like we usually do. Just gonna, yeah, I think that's it. I think the only tip I forgot to include was to plan your menu. But that's sort of,
I mean, that's kind of what we're doing.
Yeah,
now.
That's kind of what we're doing. But yeah, you just want to keep it simple, like I said, keep it easy, just food that's easy. And like to her point, definitely like, you know, as many little bite-sized things as you can have, which makes it easy. Because there are folks who like will bring the book with them and they have like little Post-its or little pages, you know, marked where they want to talk about something or have a discussion. So yeah, it makes it a lot easier.
So you don't get a mess all over the book.
So you don't get a mess all over your book and little, you know, little greasy things. Have you ever been to a book club?
You know, I actually have not.
That's so crazy because you read so much.
I read so much. And it would be so nice to have someone to discuss my books with.
I know. I
normally just talk to my boyfriend. He doesn't really, I mean, he listens to me, but he doesn't know what I'm talking about because he hasn't read them.
All right, I'm going to take this up a little bit. What books are people reading?
Well, first of all, Vinny wants to know how he can join your book club because if you're cooking, he said he's in.
Tell Vinny that my book club is currently just ladies, but maybe we'll make it co-ed, you know, next time.
I will shout out, Jean Brown said the Nicholas Sparks books, especially the book Safe Haven. And I love the Nicholas Sparks book. They make for great women's
What is that, like
books.
a mystery book?
No, those are like romance.
Oh, romance.
I call them, what do you call them? Like chick lit. I don't know. It'd be the book version of a chick flick for sure.
Okay, all right. That makes sense. Okay, we're almost there. I'm just trying to get this to be like stiff peaks. But I don't want to get whipped cream all over myself, which I'm totally doing.
You are, but I
don't mind.
I can lick it.
I don't mind. I don't
That's
mind.
Weird, actually.
Sarah.
Would you mind? It's just that your food always tastes so
Yeah,
good.
I'm getting it all over myself, but don't worry. It's cool. I'm going to get it off. All right. Almost there.
Oh, that sounds fun. Jim Bon Noon says that he goes to a culinary book club. That's fun.
Oh, that's nice. So what's the culinary book club? Like everybody has to make really fancy food?
I don't know.
Huh. I wonder what that one is.
Yeah, Vinny said we're crazy because like I said, your food is so good that if it fell on the floor, I would definitely abide by like the 10-second rule. I should probably not be admitting that, right? Is that shameful? Do you do the 5-second rule?
Well, I mean, okay.
It depends where, right?
I definitely used to do the 5-second rule, but now that I have Christian in the house, like I don't want him to like adopt the 5-second rule. So now I'm like, oh, I guess I can't do that anymore. Because, you know, he'll be like, oh, well, mommy did it, so.
Yeah. Viewers, do you abide by the 5 or 10-second rule? It probably depends on the place. Yeah, Vinny says depends on location.
Depends on the location. All right, so here we have cream cheese and sugar and vanilla. And we are going to zest and squeeze 2 lemons. This is like the easiest recipe. Also, like there's no real like any baking or anything really hard to do. And I love lemon right now because it feels so springy and fresh.
I'm like getting whiffs of that
right?
zest over here. That
smells
crazy.
so good. It smells so good. I love this tool too. It's just like easy to just zest the whole thing. So we'll zest the whole lemon. We're gonna do 2 of them. I wanna make sure that like, cause I know I'm gonna be making this for like the next couple of minutes, that I also talk about some of our DIY ideas. So we're gonna talk about them at the same time while I make this dessert. So I just wanna show you guys, these are super cute. These are just some bookmarks that we made. Now, I'm not sure how we got these really cool paint things. Probably we stole them from the hardware store. Not stole, we just went to the hardware store and pretended we were like looking for some paint. But so these are really cute, and I'll show you guys if I have time. You know, we just kind of cut them into size, and then we used these really cute little like hole punch things to make these fun shapes. And also, like if you're just getting started with your book club, it's cool to like maybe give people like a fun little tote bag or something at the beginning, you know, just for the first one. It's not like every single time it's expected that you guys are gonna have like gifts and things, but I think it'll be fun to just get people excited about the book club like the first time, and you can like give out like some little totes. So the girls today, they made these one. This one's really cute. It says, "Once upon a time, there was wine." So that was cute. And this one's like, "I love my book club." But you could make a lot of, you know, whatever you want. I just think it's a nice little gesture for the very first one if you do that.
I got an answer from Jim Bon News. He said it's a cooking school and the chef cooks food associated with the book theme.
Oh,
and they
yeah.
the book. I love that.
So that's actually really a big, yeah. So today we're just making like general food, but I do think that's a really cool idea. I've seen that a lot where like if the book is like, let's say the book is like set in the South in like a, you know, a special period time or whatever, like people would make the menu coincide with the book. And I think that's pretty cool too. So definitely if you have a book and it makes sense to incorporate the theme of the book or the background of the book into the storyline, you should definitely do that. So I think that's a really cool idea. I meant to tell you guys that. Okay, so then we just put the juice in there. So we have the juice and the zest of 2 lemons. We have 1 block of cream cheese and the sugar. So now we are gonna, again, we're gonna do this one. Let's get that. We're gonna wait for it to be all the way like fully incorporated. You can also use almond extract if you don't have vanilla extract. I like kind of the way almond extract tastes too.
I do too. Okay, so Marcy Sanders said that she's reading Underground Railroad right now, but her all-time favorite book is Song of Solomon.
It's called what?
Song of Solomon.
Oh yeah, that's a good book. I've read that.
Me too.
I read that years ago.
Yes. And then Belle Pearson Davenport is a lady after my own heart. She said, "I love true crime books."
True crime
Yay,
books, yeah.
those are mine.
I think those would be fun for a book club. I feel like I should try to like get my group to do like a true crime book.
I also like not true fictional crime books.
Fictional
are great
crime
too.
books, yeah. Well, we haven't picked our book for the next one, so maybe I'll get some of these really good ideas from you guys today. All right, so you can see this is so nice and smooth. I love cream cheese icing. I love cream cheese and everything. It just adds like a really nice depth of flavor. All right, I'm gonna take it up. Okay, so now we're actually gonna fold in the whipped cream into our cream cheese lemon mixture. So we'll just take some of this whipped cream. We'll fold it in. This is literally like what, like 5 ingredients?
I know,
so
and
nice.
it's funny because I think it's gonna be, it's so light, so,
yeah.
but it looks like it's gonna have a lot of flavor,
yeah.
like very refreshing.
It's just really nice. You just wanna fold. So folding, you know, you just wanna make sure you don't like stir it. And the reason why you fold is just because you don't wanna lose all the air that you just got in that cream. So you just wanna be really gentle with it and keep it nice and fluffy and airy like that. This is so nice. Yes, look at that. You can see the little like lemon zest pieces in there. It's just really nice and pretty. Okay. And then we've got these really cute little like baby mason jars that we picked up.
I love that.
Aren't they so cute?
Yeah.
So we have these little baby mason jars. And we're gonna spoon this in there. I just gotta get a spoon. Okay. Oh, and you know what else, Sarah, I wanted to show you too? We have these like really cool markers to write your name on your glass. We also, we were talking earlier about making like wine glass rings, so those are really cute. You can just have so much fun with all of the like DIY stuff.
I love it too. And Vinny had said something too. He said that he would tie the cork to the string, or like little paint swatch string.
Yeah.
I like that too, because I like to also, I think corks are a good souvenir.
Yeah, that's cute. I like that. So now we're just spooning this. This is like the best consistency right now. It's just like thick and lemony, and the cream cheese gives it like a little bit of depth. So we'll spoon these in. I so know that you and everybody are going to eat these as soon as the show is over.
Yeah, if you guys can imagine like an office of hungry people and what happens when Vanessa finishes the show, we all just bombard this set.
I know, this is going to be really yummy. Okay, so I'm going to do one more, and then I'm going to just put some fresh berries on top. I so want to eat like a whole spoonful of this right this second. All right. Okay, now we'll just put some berries. We've got strawberries, we've got blueberries. How yummy is this?
That looks so good. And yeah, Crystal White says, I wish I was there. I'm sure she would also rush to eat everything as well.
So that's it. These are all the little recipes we have that'll just, you know, just for general book club. I hope you guys enjoyed today's show. We've got our lemon mousse cups and our smoked salmon tartlets and our BLT salad. Thank you so much for joining us today. Next week, our episode, I'll tell you guys, I usually don't tell you. I usually tell you that we're just cooking up something for you, but next week is gonna be all about Mother's Day, and I have a special guest that's gonna be joining me, so I'm so excited. We actually have someone that's gonna come on the episode with me, so that'll be really fun, and I hope you guys tune in next Monday, 4 o'clock. Thank you for joining me. Bye.